And so let's end this program on the right note and say hello to the brand new UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. There she is. You did it, Julianna. You did it.
I did it. Woohoo! What's going on?
Can you even put into words, like on this Monday afternoon, less than 48 hours removed, can you even process what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's like, I want to say that I can process it, but I don't think I really have all the way yet, but it's just a good feeling overall. It's just a good feeling. It's great.
Even because I asked that question because on Saturday, like even in the seconds after the fight, you were stone cold. You had no reaction. It wasn't you running around the cage, jumping on the cage. That stuff came in a bit, but it's almost like you saw a ghost. Like you couldn't even process in that moment where you look at DC and say, I told you. I mean, that is freaking as gangster as can be. But was that what was actually going on in your mind at that point? Because you had no reaction.
I know. I always, if you ever look back at any of my other fights, I kind of don't have a great reaction regardless when you win. I feel like it's kind of rude to be like super celebratory. And then also, Mike Valley's always told me, don't fall in love with your wins and don't fall in love with your losses, So it's like, do celebrating behind closed doors. You don't got to be, making yourself freak out. I mean, it was a great moment and everybody celebrates how they celebrate. But for me, it was like, okay, it's over. It's done with. I was actually in shock, I think, because I was like, that's it. All right, it's over. Oh man. Like thought we were going to have more of a fight.
Oh, no. It was absolutely perfect. Could I ask you, Julianna, and by the way, this is a great scene right here. I'm assuming these are new sponsors in your life. I mean, this is great. These are the fruits of being champ. Let's give them a shout out. Come on. Who are these people?
Yes.
What's happening?
Jones Soda. I bet you remember drinking this in the 90s when you were a kid. Well, they are still around. This cream soda is the best. They have a ton of great flavors. Try the pineapple. They're amazing. Columbia Care. Definitely CBD products, medicinal marijuana products, anything that you're looking for there. Got a few others. High Times, One Plant, and Columbia Care.
Look at you. Now, did these just jump on board or were they with you before the fight?
They were with me before the fight. They got on like earlier on in the beginning of the year, 2020.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the beginning of the year, as we said, you've been calling for this fight for a while. In fact, you've been calling for it since UFC 200, since she won the belt. Can you describe, why were you so confident? And how do you remain confident when the rest of the world tells you, no way, you're delusional, you're crazy, you're this and that. And till the very end, till Saturday night, you're saying the same stuff with more confidence, with more conviction. Why were you so confident?
I have an unwavering amount of faith in God. I'm a warrior for God. And I think that belief that, no matter what, if God is for me, who could be against me? That's a type of mentality that I've had, win, lose, or draw. And again, if you get a belt at the end of the night, that's cute. But the most important thing is that I'm a warrior for God and I want to be, doing what I feel is God's work. I get asked all the time, how did you become a fighter and why did you decide to start fighting? I didn't. Fighting found me. I swear, fighting found me. I didn't go out looking for this. I didn't even know what an MMA fight was. I didn't surely know what the UFC was. Fighting fell into my lap and this is what my purpose is. This is God's will. This is the path that he has designed for my life. So putting all my faith in God definitely helped me become confident, helped me realize that, I am a champion. And as long as I kept my champion mindset that I was going to get that championship belt around my waist, it was just a matter of time. And I think that unwavering amount of faith that I have in myself all stems from my relationship with God.
I felt like she didn't respect you. I felt like she was dismissive of you. Did you get that same feeling? And did you use that as motivation on fight week?
I definitely think she dismissed me, but no, I didn't use it as motivation. I just knew who she is as a fighter and how the fight was going to play out. And it played out, pretty spot on to the way that I practiced and the way that I had been training for. So I was like, okay, I shouldn't have been surprised that it was over in round 2. But I think at the end of the day, you're always a little bit shocked, like, oh man, it's over.
So who is she as a fighter? You say you know who she is as a fighter. Who is she as a fighter?
She's a fighter that doesn't do well when fighting against adversity. When she's the bully and when she's the pressure, she's great. Girls fold, they crumple. But when she is when she is being bullied and when she is being pressured, that's what she can't handle. And that's what I knew was the case. And you saw that when she, was in the was fighting Kat Zingano. Kat Zingano broke her, and we saw that, she's been, I think maybe in Invicta, I saw somebody else break her too. She's had losses, so those types of scenarios, I knew still existed in her, and it just needed a chance to break through and rear its ugly head. And the only way to do that is to make somebody tired, to get them to work, to make them work and make them fight.
Do you recall the moment when you started to realize that she was breaking?
Yes, it was in the first round. It looked to the naked eye. I mean, these are $1 million cameras and they're great, but you would think that they would get the shot of like, I'm about to snap this girl's arm. I'm about to have the first ever victory by straight arm lock. That's what was playing in my mind. Like, I was like, man, it probably looks like people probably are like, oh, she's going to choke her. But I'm like, dude, her arm is going to snap in half. I have her arm. Like, I wish that they could see that. Like I don't know if they saw it or not. I actually haven't seen the full fight yet, but I had her in trouble in round 1. And I knew that that's the moment that I was like, man, like if this is how our grappling exchanges are going to be, I could do this all night long. And especially just the amount that she was breathing, you could hear her like, and I'm just cool.
Chilling. And it was clear that things were going your way in the first, but then in the second, there's like this moment where it's like, holy smokes, Julianna is not backing down. You are not wilting. You are not intimidated. And she's clearly rocked. She is like, and you could see, it's almost like we were watching a video game and the power was just going down, down, down. And you were just going forward like a freaking Terminator. I thought maybe you were going to finish her with strikes. Did you not think? I thought one of those punches was going to just drop her, like make her crumple. Were you surprised that it didn't?
I know I was crazy. I mean, I told everybody the only way that you fight this type of firepower is when you fight fire with fire. And I knew that was how it was going to be. It's going to take a lot more than one shot to put me away or put me down and get me out of there. Like I can take a shot, as you guys have seen from my previous fight. So I think that when I was rocking her on the feet, I saw my team. I just see in my peripheral view of my team of white just going, go, go get her. And so that's when I pressed her to the cage. And, the takedown was there. It was available. And it was just like I practiced. And the choke came in just as I practiced as well. So everything literally just, the stars were aligning.
How deep was that choke? Because honestly, like when it happened, I was like, "Oh wow, it's over." I like you can't even see. It didn't even look like it was locked in. I know the hooks weren't in, but was the choke actually in tight? Were you surprised that she tapped when she did?
Yeah, Rick and I have been working this choke for a while, and it was the same pretty much variation choke that I got with Sarah McMahon. It was absolutely tight, and she had no choice but to tap. People want to say that she quit. She didn't quit. She was getting choked. She had no choice but to tap. I would have broke her neck. So she tapped because she had no choice.
It's an amazing thing. Did she say anything to you after the fight?
Just congratulations, and that was it. I don't recall too much words exchanged, but I'm always grateful and thankful and humble for the opportunity, win, lose, or draw. We are warriors getting inside the octagon, modern day gladiators, putting on, these fights that require a lot out of us as athletes for all the fans and for everyone else to see. So there's respect there. We shared a moment and there's a ton of respect there.
What was it like when you saw your daughter in the cage?
I was so happy. She told me the night before, of course, she's been telling me, for months that I'm going to win, but she told me the night before, you're going to win, Mama. And then when we were walking to the media room, I had her by the hand. She said, Mama, I told you were going to win. I told you, Mom. And I was like, yeah. And then when she woke up that morning, she says, Mama, I want to be a winner like you when I grow up. And I was like, oh my heart. That's what we do it for. Moments like that.
Oh my gosh. Would you be down with her following this path?
No.
Okay. You'd rather not?
No.
You will deter her?
I'll tell you what, Ariel. I want her to be happy. I don't care if that means, she took up sewing for a living or if she decides to be a chef, whatever she decides, I want her to be happy 110%. My whole bit is I was very passionate and dedicated and showed a lot of interest in mixed martial arts. She does jujitsu now. Her dad owns, Stronghold Jiu-Jitsu. And so she's been a part of my training since she was a baby. She sees it all day long. If she shows a genuine interest and a genuine passion for fighting, I'll support her. But do I want her to do it? Am I going to push her to do it? Absolutely not. No. I mean, literally, I've gone through the wash. I've done it all as far as injuries are concerned, and this is just such a hard life. A fighter's life is a very hard life, and it takes a special type of person. And, whether she is that person or not, I don't know. I can't tell you. I just want her to be happy in life. And if she chooses fighting, then that'll be cool. But I know what it's like, and I would like her to do something else if I had a say in it.
Pretty damn great moment that you shared with me before the show of your daughter hugging Amanda's young daughter with Dustin's daughter looking on right behind them. What is that like to see that, and this was at the weigh-in, so right before the fight, but to see your daughter, your spawn, hugging your opponent's daughter is a pretty damn cool thing, right?
Yeah, Amanda is a great mom champ, and she has been a phenomenal champ. I am the new champ, and her daughter hugging my daughter just showed me that baby is raised in a house with two loving parents that show her love day in and day out, because some kids don't go up to other kids and just start hugging them. You know what I mean? The fact that they were hugging like that and embracing one another just shows me how much love that little girl has in her life, and how great of a mom Amanda is, and how great of parents that their daughter has. And so it was very cute to see, the little kids embracing each other. Plus, fight week, you're around all these men coaches, she's just following me around to all these practices and stuff like that. She's around a bunch of dudes. So the second that she sees a little kid her age, of course, she's going to want to, hang out with some kids. So it was pretty cute.
And I actually said this before your press conference. I said it on Saturday. I wrote it as well. I tweeted it. And I'm not trying to make this out to be a whole thing, but I have to say, I am blown away. I tweeted that you are the first person to give birth to a child and become a UFC champion. And I got so much hate for this. And I was like, this is an actual factual thing that happened. I'm not trying to diminish anyone. I'm not trying to say anyone is or isn't. Like, I have the utmost respect for anyone who adopts, who has a family, who's a mother. But you went through a life-altering, a body-altering, a potentially career-altering thing for 9+ months. Anyone who has ever been with someone who has given birth knows what that does to their body. And you came all the way back in the midst of your career, in the prime of your life, to become a champion. That should be celebrated. That's a big freaking deal. That's not diminishing anyone. And I saw some of the stuff that you got as well. Like, what is this bizarro world that we're living in? Why should that not be talked? I got people saying some things are better left unsaid. Why? It's an incredible feat.
Yes, it is. And my words were 1,000% misinterpreted. I'm not trying to take away from Amanda as a mom champ by any means. But what I meant to say is, you're pregnant for 10 months, actually, and your body goes through massive changes. Not only that, but they literally called me and said, not called me. I went to my doctor's appointment. I was like almost 42 weeks pregnant at this point. And they're like, we got to get this baby out now, stat, right now. They rushed me to the ER, and I got my guts ripped open. I'm literally laying on the table and looking at my guts on the side. They gut me like a fish. They stuffed it all back in. If it wasn't for Mercier therapy, I wouldn't have been able to get back into the octagon. And I think that process of healing and taking that extra time to do that Mercier therapy and taking the time to heal my body and get back to fighting and be able to perform at my peak is a lot. And it says a lot to be able to do that after giving birth. And I'm not by any means trying to take away from Amanda at all. All I was simply saying is that when I gave birth, I had to put my body through the trenches to get back to this point that I'm at right now. And it's something that should be celebrated, but I by no means want to take away from Amanda's accomplishments at all. She is an incredible mom champ. She was an incredible champion. She did so much for the sport, but I am the new champion right now, and that is the light that I want to stay in.
I'm sure it's been a whirlwind over the last 2 days, but have you had a chance to even sit and reflect? I mean, we talk about the injury that you had, and I remember there were some people, Julianna, calling for you to leave your team after that injury, and it was nice to see that team still by your side. You know what I'm talking about. But we forget about I was looking at an old MMARising.com article before your debut where they're talking about, shout out, to MMARising.com and Robert Sargent, where they're talking about your ACL surgery. I think you've had 3 in total, right? Is it 3 total over the course of your career? 2. Okay, so we know about the one, I think it was back in 2014, if memory serves me correct, but then there was one very early on. You have come back from a lot, not just giving birth in your prime. Have you had a chance to sit back and reflect after everything you've been through?
Honestly, I didn't sleep at all that next day. And then I came home on the flight yesterday and I got to my bed and I don't think I went to bed till like 3. I would feel like I was up for 48 hours. It hasn't 1,000% set in. And then it's so funny because like you just get home, you're just still like trying to unwind. And then they're like, press junket. You got press. I'm like, just somebody give me a second. Let me just enjoy the moment, So
I'm sorry.
I'm looking forward to just being able to just bask in the moment this week and just really enjoy the fruits of my labor.
And I'm sorry for being a part of that,
No, of course. I told you I would come on. I told you when I had that belt, I'd come on.
You did. And I remember, and not to get all, emotional here, but the flight back from the home Rousey fight, biggest upset ever, going through customs with you, sitting with you. You remember on the plane, you and I together. And now to see you pull off that upset, which is now up there with home Rousey, kind of blows my mind, if I'm being honest. Like, who would have thought? Here we are 6 years later, and you freaking did it, Julianna. It's a crazy thing.
Yes, I did. And it was something that I was asking for when I won the Ultimate Fighter. The division had just been newly opened, and I was ready to fight for the belt then. And I got tore those ligaments, and I had to come back from that. And then I had a pregnancy and I had to come back from that. And I feel like I've been fighting adversity my whole career. Adversity and fighting is my middle name. But yeah, it's just such a whirlwind of emotions to know that, it was one of the biggest upsets in women's MMA history. And it's just, a really good feeling to know that I did what I said I was going to do, and I am the new champion.
By the way,
I'm a champion.
Just so you know, it's not just the biggest upset in women's MMA history. It's number 3 all time as far as the odds are concerned. Number 1 is home Rousey. Number 2 is Sarah GSP, and you're tied for number 3 with Dillashaw Barao. So I mean that includes the entire damn sport of MMA. So let me ask you: do you think it's going to? Is it inevitable? Are we doing the rematch? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm down to do a rematch. If she wants to rematch, we can run it back. No problem. And that's that. Like, we can do it next week. We can do it the week after. Next month is good. Free for the summer. Whenever. All I know right now is that I just want to enjoy the moment. And the biggest thing for me is to spend some time with my daughter, because I went into a camp before last August to fight Jermaine in October. And then I went straight into that camp with Sarah McMahon. And then I went straight into the camp with Holly. And then it went and changed into Amanda. So I've been grinding for over a year, nonstop, straight, haven't taken any time off. I really would just like to enjoy this time to hang out with my daughter. If you have any connections at Disney World, please let me know, send them my way, because I would love to take my daughter to Disney. They always say when you win the Super Bowl, what are you going to do next? Like, I'm going to Disney World. Like, I would like to go to Disney World. I would like to take my daughter there. It's her fourth birthday in January, and she deserves it. I deserve it. We deserve it.
Also, this fight aired on ESPN, which is owned by Disney. I sort of feel like they can make that happen for you. You should get the freaking red carpet treatment over there. You should be feted like a Super Bowl champion.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to call somebody up after this.
You should. Get on it. By the way, what about your boy, Michael Chiesa there? Going all crazy, hugging you, crying, freaking jumping the guardrail. Did you see that stuff? Do you see how happy he was?
Yeah, so I didn't see him jumping that. I saw it afterwards, but Mike and I started within 1 week of each other. And we have been grinding and going to war together, brother and sister, side by side since we started in 2000, since we started 13 years ago. So Mike knows what I've done. Mike knows what I've been through. Mike knows the adversity that I've had to overcome. And it was inspiring to him. It was an emotional moment for both of us. And I know how happy he is for me. And I know how inspired he is. And I just am so grateful to be able to share this with my team from Spokane and bring it also back to the lake here in Chicago.
2 last things. I'll let you go. And again, thank you so much for the time.
Of course.
Do you think there's any possibility that she doesn't want to rematch you?
No. I think she posted out today that she would love a rematch.
Okay.
Let's run it back, she said. So yeah, we're rematching.
And in your mind, like, what do you think? You think springtime? I mean, it's not going to happen next month, obviously. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Again, like, I just want to be present, enjoy the belt, and just get some much needed vacation time, a lot of rest and recovery, and then we can talk about shop later on.
And you won't say it, but we need to get paid. All right, we need to get paid. All right, we need a new contract.
if it don't make money, it don't make
Let's
sense.
go.
So I want to fight the champ. Excuse me, I am the champ. I want to fight Amanda for the rematch, for the championship belt again. And with that being said, like, Dana's got to bring out his bankroll here, and we got to make this thing happen.
Let's go. We need a parade in Venezuela. I'm sure they're dancing in the streets right over there. I'm sure it's a huge deal.
I don't know about that. It's kind of scary over there right now, but definitely one in Spokane, definitely one in Chicago. I'm down. If you have any connections in either places, let me know, because I would love a parade. No, I'm just kidding. If they want to, I would definitely go.
They should.
It is kind of awkward.
I saw
let me tell you this really
Sean
quick.
Kemp was giving you love, but please tell me.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, like, we were in the Aria and my cousins were going nuts. All these people were surrounding me. They're all yelling my name, Pena, Pena. And I'm like looking around, like trying to find this person that everyone's like chanting for, and like they're chanting for me. And I'm like, this is so awkward. Honestly, this is so awkward. I just kind of wanted to like find this random person that everyone was cheering for, and to know that it was me. It was just like, oh, this is, I know you step into the spotlight like that, but it's not something for me. I'm not this person that needs all that type of attention. So it would be crazy if they actually did throw a type of parade, but I guess you got to do what you got to do. It's champ shit only from here on.
That's right. Shout out to Tony Ferguson, and shout out to Nate Diaz as well. That was a great moment there. Did you think of that on the spot?
Yeah. Just because it's been so long. It's been so long coming. I've been calling for this fight since UFC 200. So it's something that I have always known, something that my team's always known. And to be honest, I mean, he said it best, and I had to quote him because we weren't surprised.
I lied. I actually now really have two more. I'm sorry. There's just so much to talk to you about.
No, you're totally fine.
Okay. Best thing that someone said to you, reached out to you, a moment that you had as a result of this victory. Is there something that you'll never forget? A thing that someone said, wrote to you, texted you, said to you on the phone, something that sticks out when you'll look back on this many years later?
I definitely think that my daughter takes that one, just to hear her little voice wake up in the morning. And the first thing she says to me is that she wants to be a winner too, like me when she grows up. I mean, that was amazing for me to hear her say that. That really, that made me cry.
What do you say to people, Julianna, who, I mean, I can't even imagine, because I remember we did the interview. You were so fired up. This is like maybe back in April when I was with ESPN. You're so fired up. You're cutting a mean promo, like a tremendous promo. And all the comments are delusional, crazy, no chance, blah, blah, blah. What is it like to be so sure of something and live in a day and age where you are in the public eye and people are literally telling you that you are insane for thinking this way, but you know it's going to come to fruition, you know you're going to win, and you have to read this, right? What do you say to those people who, like you, are dreamers, who believe in themselves, and then are being told no, that you're not good enough, that you can? What's the message to those people?
The message to those people is that I just proved that it can be done. You know what I mean? It's the power of the mind. It's the power of your faith, and it's the power of your desire and your willpower and your determination. I know that people were sleeping on me. I know that people have tried to cast me and throw me in a box as this underdog, but I know one thing for sure. If you have two girls, whether they sit in the bottom of the seed or the top of the seed, if you have two girls that are willing and able to sign on the dotted line and fight, you have a fight. And as long as you fight and you go out there and prove how big your dog is, then that's all that matters. Fighting in a steel cage is very simple. It's a fist fight in a steel cage. Anything can happen and anything is possible. The word impossible literally is broken down to I'm possible. And I have always believed in myself and my ability. I have just always been so boisterous about loud about wanting a shot. Just somebody give me a shot, give me an opportunity, give me my chance. Everybody else has gotten their chances and no one will give me my chance. And that's why I was so frustrated, because I felt like I've been doing this since as long as the division has been open, and screaming and kicking and punching and screaming for my shot, and no one would give me the opportunity. So to finally get that opportunity, and for all those people that were sleeping on me, I am very proud to say I woke you up. And I hope that this is a lesson learned for anybody that has ever doubted me or doubted themselves. If you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you? So that self-belief and that faith, that unwavering faith is pivotal. You have to have that.
Amen. Beautiful stuff. I feel like I could run through this brick wall right over here, right in front of me.
I'm telling you, if you think you can, you can.
Much respect, Julianna.
Just make sure you record it. Let me see.
No, I will not be doing that. I do not possess the DNA that you possess. I have so much respect for you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. You called it. You did it. You made it happen. And I can't wait to see what 2022 brings you because you deserve it all. I hope you get that parade all over, and I hope you get that big fat contract, and I hope you get to go to Disneyland and do all those things that come with being a champion. You're immortalized forever now. They can never take that away from you, and I can't wait for the rematch. So just congratulations. Enjoy it. And thank you for doing this. I appreciate the time as always.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everyone that was supporting me and believing in me. I appreciate that. This one's for you.
All right. Thank you so much. There she is, Julianna Pena, the Venezuelan vixen,